Well, hello, everybody from England. Marc Farzetta with you. And yes, we are live. I just couldn't resist. You know, the Phillies win a game 6-5, and I just need to talk about it because when do we get to talk about, the Phillies winning games? And how about that Nick Maton character? We'll get to that. Quintin Mikell will join the show in a pre-taped interview. Quintin Mikell isn't like right there next to me, unfortunately. But I am in England. I'm in Richmond, which is where they filmed the Ted Lasso program, if you guys are fans. Okay, so it's Thursday, obviously, and it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and apparently no one here works. Here I am on vacation, and I'm still working. I'm still hustling just so I can connect with you fine people. So we got some Phillies conversation going on today. We got some Eagles conversation going on with Quintin Mikell. I will say, the wife and I are already having a great time. She's just relaxing on a park bench while I'm doing this, hanging with you fine people. Now, we did get to the bar, as you would assume. We got to Chickies and Pete's right there in Terminal A. PJ, you're pushing the buttons today with that stuff. Would you mind showing the good people? Me and the missus having a drink. Hopefully you guys are drinking that photo in right now. And then she's also wearing a Mama Off Duty shirt today. So she was sporting that at the Chickies and Pete's. We're having ourselves a great time. I got some cousins that are about to meet up with us here. If you guys can see, of course, right there, you see the English telephone booths. Remember those? Just telephone booths in general. Anyway, right behind me, if you guys are Ted Lasso fans, is the Prince's Head Bar, which is where Ted Lasso, of course, goes for his boozing with beard. So there you go. Let's talk some Phil's baseball. Nick Maton gets out of his car, lays down a beautiful bunt, gets a home run later in the ball game, helps the Phillies win. Go figure. I remember Nick Maton last year having like a month tear and everybody thinking, yeah, let's get this guy going. Who needs Scott Kingery when he got Nick Maton? Remember that conversation? But it's just good to see the Phillies win a game, obviously with some hustle and unlikely sources. It was just nice to see them get out there. I watched the highlights from this very park a couple minutes ago. So that's about as much as I got on the Phillies. And it's weird watching people here just so relaxed for the most part. We had a very eventful, though, first couple of minutes sitting here. A guy didn't have his dog leashed. And the dog was running around, a little dog. And the dog jumped on some kid. And I thought it was the kid's dog. It wasn't. Totally different family. And the two dads squared off head to head. It was pretty amazing. Already they showed more life than Joe Girardi, which I thought was funny. Yeah, it's just an interesting place. It's a good time. Chill vibe other than that altercation. But anyway, back to the Phillies. Nola, they obviously got to him in, the sixth inning last night. Missed a pitch that was supposed to be on the outside corner of the plate, on the inside corner of the plate, and it ended up over the left field wall. So that never really works out too well. I know I mentioned this in yesterday's show to switch gears quickly to the to the Eagles. This is one of the things that Quintin Mikell is going to get into. The fact that the Eagles are most likely going to be running a 3-4 scheme. Like I said yesterday, that's going to be coming up in today's show with Quintin Mikell as he kind of breaks down what the Eagles are going to be doing and how it is going to be a much different look than what we saw last year with this quote-unquote scheme from Jonathan Gannon. Walk you guys up here a little bit more. You can tell they get a lot of tourists. And my wife and I, we just came right here, and we have our bags and stuff. So it's like, do we look like tourists? A little bit. But here's a better look at the bar. See it right over my head right there. And Devin Caney was exactly right. This place is beautiful. It's just very chill and awesome. We just did some shopping as well. A lot of espresso coffee shops and all that stuff around here. So it's awesome. And we're going to be checking in. I'm going to be checking in with you guys throughout the trip for little spurts here and there, Still got to spend time with the missus. And hope you guys are having a great time back in Philly and wherever you watch the show. Mullet, I know you're in Okinawa. So wherever you guys, consume the content. But yeah, hey, Phillies won a game. So it was reason to go live. Reason enough for me to go live. Now enjoy some of these amazing commercial reads and a fantastic interview with Quintin Mikell. PJ, you're doing a hell of a job. It's a Buzz Sports Entertainment production, folks. Have a great rest of your day. See ya.
Was that guest? I mean, they were just fantastic. Oh, man. Great stuff. Anyway, I'm in Europe. But let me tell you about the people that still give us the great Rothman Orthopedics guest line. Those are the people at Rothman Orthopedics. Remember the old you, the one that didn't have to put up with a fickle knee, a finicky hip, or a shoulder that no longer does what a shoulder should do? Well, the Rothman approach to orthopedics is here to get you back to being you, back to running, back to working, back to walking, back to playing, back to living your life the way you want. With same-day appointments available, you can start today at RothmanOrtho.com. That's RothmanOrtho.com. Rothman Orthopedics, the official orthopedic partner of your Phillies, Eagles, and Sixers. Check out RothmanOrtho.com. How about the great people of our amazing Versus Game people? They are fantastic. If you're not doing it, folks, download the Versus Game app from the Google Play Store or the App Store right now and make sure you have yourself a good time. And follow the Farzy Show for all our piping hot questions that are out there about the Philadelphia sports scene and really anything in general. Download the app right now. Make sure you follow Farzy Show and see what question we have out there, and you can win yourself some money. It's always binary. It's always this or that. It's always yes or no. Very simple to follow along, and there's always a fine video on there as well of me asking the question. So if you miss me, there I am, right there in the Versus Game app, and you can have yourself a good time. Download the Versus Game app to your phone right now and let the games begin, ladies and gentlemen. And how about this? How about the amazing people at Freestone Farm CBD, FreestoneFarmCBD.com. You got to check out their menu. It's something that is just spectacular with strains like their new insane tropical tasting Bayox that clocks in at a chart-topping 24.1% and Super CBD, which is half Hindu Kush, and 21%. These genetics, they're just off the charts, ladies and gentlemen. They grow their premium hemp flower in the Garden State with all organic inputs and IPM. There's absolutely nothing synthetic from farm to jar. And after harvest, they carefully preserve all the plant compounds with a perfect 3-month cure. Just one look or smell is enough to know that it's CBD done right. And that's a product that is just great for anyone looking to take a more natural approach to everything they put in their body. And don't forget, use promo code Farzy at CBD at FreestoneFarmCBD.com. That's promo code Farzy at FreestoneFarmCBD.com for 20% off your CBD from FreestoneFarmCBD.com. Try it, and you'll love it. How about PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs? That's PHLSportsNation.com. Now, the Rothman Orthopedics guest line, you know him from his long time with the Philadelphia Eagles, patrolling the secondary as a safety. You also know him from Inside the Birds podcast, of course, with our friend Jason Avant as part of Inside the Birds Network, the Q+A Show with Quintin Mikell and Jason Avant, that is. Without further ado, joining us right now, Quintin Mikell. What's up, Quintin?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. Appreciate it. I needed to speak to a smart secondary mind is what I need to speak to. Somebody who is smart on the secondary, somebody who knows what's what, because I have a tendency, like a lot of people in this city, unfortunately, there, Q, where I see something on paper and I go, ooh, that's really good, but it's just on paper. Don't get too excited. And then what do I inevitably do? I get too excited. What's the appropriate amount of excitement level and hype for a secondary that includes Darius Slay as your cornerback and as your number one guy, and James Bradbury now as your number two? How excited should I be? How validated is that excitement?
I would say, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would put it at a 7.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that's pretty good because know finding two good corners in this league is very difficult to do. So you got that there. Now,
can I real quick can I just get a comparison? What was it when the Eagles signed Steven Nelson last year?
Oh, it was probably like a 5.
Woohoo! Okay, I'll take 2 spots. I'll take 2 spots because Steven Nelson was a good, solid corner. I'll say solid, decent corner. And then I think James Bradbury is obviously a couple of spots up. So I'm with you there. But go ahead. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the only reason why it's not higher with those 2 signings, because you said secondary, is the safety position, and it's got to get better. That for me, that's the reason why it's being held. Now, if you add one more guy, I know it'll never happen, but wishers can dream, and we can dream and wish. But if we get somehow pull off getting Bates out of Cincinnati, all right, you got a 10 in the defensive secondary, absolutely.
So what is Marcus Epps? Okay, we'll start with Marcus Epps here. Okay, Marcus Epps, what does he need to do to show you that he can at least be a solid safety taking over for a guy like Rodney McLeod, for instance?
So far, from what I've seen, he's shown me enough to where he can be a quality safety.
Okay.
I just think he needs the opportunity for whatever reason. I'm not sure. Maybe him and defensive coordinator Gannon don't really jive well, or what. But it doesn't seem like he's really been given an opportunity to take hold of that position. And for me, I think he just needs reps. He just needs to be out there as a starter. He needs to feel that he's the guy, and he needs to feel that it's his position to lose. And I thoroughly believe if he's given the opportunity and he's given, the opportunity to not only do well, but also to make mistakes and not get pulled, because that's important too. I think that he can definitely develop into a very good safety for this team.
All right. You mentioned the man right there, but we'll get to Jonathan Gannon in a second. When it comes to Anthony Harris, are you confident that he'll be a guy that you could rely on as your, basically your number one guy, your guy to cover the deepest threat on the field?
I haven't. It's tough. I hate being negative on any player that plays in the league.
Sure.
Play in the league, you're a phenomenal player, phenomenal athlete. I just haven't seen enough from him over the course of last season to really warrant him, holding on to that spot for long. He's a smart player, very intelligent, very, he's experienced veteran. He knows where to be. I just haven't seen the playmaking ability out of him. I haven't seen the leadership out of him. I haven't seen him making plays when everything else kind of falls down and you're the last line of defense. And so that's what I would like to see out of him moving forward. But, so far I'm just at that position. I want more from that position.
All right. So first thing that jumps in my mind is the scheme. Is it what he's being asked to do, or is it just the way he is playing? And we all had our critiques, we'll put it nicely, of Jonathan Gannon, the type of defensive coordinator he was last year. Apparently he was pretty damn good. If you look around the league, a top 10 defense in terms of points, in terms of yards, and that's pretty damn good. He got head coaching interviews, but when it came to the style of play that we're looking at here in Philadelphia, there was no aggression. There was no turnover differential that was anything worth bragging about. They certainly weren't creating turnovers. With all these new pieces now, all defensive pieces all encompassing right now, Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, all these guys, how Hassan Reddick, how much do you think Jonathan Gannon's scheme will change with the new pieces he has?
That's the interesting thing. The front seven, especially that D line, is absolutely loaded. And at any given point, you can have, 4 or 5 possible, pass rushers on the field at any point. And so I think if we base everything based on, what Gannon did last year, I'm not really hanging my hat on him having a lot of blitz schemes and a lot of fun stuff that we're used to seeing in Philadelphia. I'm thinking it's going to be more of a bend don't break type defense. I think it's going to be more of a, let the front handle, the run, and then, handle the pass rush. And so me particularly, I'm not super excited about that, but whatever works, man, whatever works for this team. If it's got to be 5 in the box, 7 in the box, 8 in the box, and load them up, then you got to do what you got to do. But I think secondary wise, if you're going to be a blitzing team, you need to get a little bit more athletic at both safety positions. And I don't think that's where we are at this point right now. So I don't see that happening in terms of, the different schemes and blitzing and all the fun stuff.
Who are you most excited of the new additions? Who are you most excited to see suit up as a member of the Eagles this year?
Oh, that's a lot. On defense, there's so many. I'm really interested to see Nakobe Dean, because I thought he was a phenomenal player coming out. The fact that he slipped all the way to 3 to the third round was I couldn't believe you getting a first round talent at the number, third round pick. I'll be interested to see how they use him, if he'll be at the will position or, with a big front like we have. Can he play the mic and just kind of run inside out and make plays? So I'll be interested to see his adjustment. And then I can't wait to see Hassan Reddick. When he came out of Temple, I always kind of kept my eye on him because, he was a Temple guy. So I always kind of, paid attention to him when he was on the field, and he's just a phenomenal pass rusher. And I'll be interested to see how they use him. Are they going to use him just strictly for rushing the passer, or is he going to be dropping in coverage? So that for me is going to be the 2 guys that I'm going to keep an eye on for most part.
Did you ever think you'd see the Eagles? Like Hassan Reddick will be an edge rusher, and apparently the Eagles are. This is an interesting thing that I want to ask you about. But apparently, Eagles are separating the defensive line, like edge rushers, linebackers, and I guess interior linemen. That's odd to me, but I guess it's such a specialty position now. They just figure they need that one-on-one time with their coaches. I don't know.
Yeah, typically you see that with a 3-4 front because there's different techniques, different positions. So, the outside backers, they have to learn techniques of coverage, dropping into coverage, possibly playing man. You might end up jamming a tight end and releasing to the flat. You could be rushing. So, in my opinion, that's kind of normal. So now that you said that, now I have a better feel for what we're going to be seeing next year, and I think it's going to be more 3-4 front, which I'm okay with because of the additions that they made during the draft and then after during free agency. So I'm okay with it. It's fine.
Now on the offensive side of the ball, the biggest question, I mean, a lot of people are talking about Jonathan Gannon, what he's going to do defensively speaking, offensively speaking. I think a lot of people are expecting Nick Sirianni to just call it an average game, nothing too crazy, nothing too low or anything too high. But most people are thinking it hinges all on Jalen Hurts' shoulders right here. Hey, they went and got you A.J. Brown. Hey, you already have a pretty decent backfield there with Miles Sanders and Kenny Gainwell and Boston Scott. You have these guys behind you that can back you up, and you already have Devontae Smith and a pretty good tight end in Dallas Goedert and an offensive line that a lot of people are predicting to have a good season. Do you feel like the vast majority of this is on Jalen Hurts' shoulder? Do you feel like he feels that pressure going into the season?
Yeah, absolutely. This team, in a short span, which I think the front office has done a phenomenal job the last 2 years drafting and additions that they've made. I mean, they rebuilt the offensive line. They've got youth. They got, smart players. They got strong, big players. Adding A.J. Brown was a phenomenal move. Running back position, tight end. You look down the line and every position is set. And the only position that everyone's kind of not worried, but everybody's unsure about yet is the quarterback position. So, yes, there is a lot of pressure on Jalen. Can he handle it? I think he can handle it. I mean, he's played at, I know this isn't the same, but he's played at Alabama and Oklahoma. He's played in some huge games. So I don't think that the pressure will bother him, but there definitely is a lot of pressure on him to succeed this year.
Yeah, the thing I always say about him that I love most about, and like anything about him, is the mindset he has. Like, I'll take that over his speed, his quickness. I'll take that over anything he does athletically, smart throws he makes. And we all know he's going to improve his accuracy. But I love his mindset. Like, he has the mindset of a guy that just won't quit. Like, he has the mindset of a guy that's like, all right, this is what I got to deal with now at the NFL level. Deshaun Watson rumors, Aaron Rodgers rumors, Russell Wilson, all that stuff. And he's like, okay, all right, I'm above it all. Let's play. And I think that is what will benefit him the most and what will hopefully be a long NFL career.
Yeah, and it's funny, man. In the NFL, it's unique in the sense that, like, the quarterback position is usually the only position where you never have to worry about, someone bringing someone else in. You never have to worry about. It's always, kind of coddling the quarterback position so that they can just go out there and focus on playing. Every other position, you're worried every year about someone coming in taking your job. You're worried about getting benched. You're worried about all these other things. And so it's a unique dynamic for me. And the fact that he's been through this multiple times, he's been through it through college and he's been through it a couple years now in the league, shows that he has the perseverance to really address that head on and attack it, which I really love. And, the city of Philadelphia really get behind and appreciate.
Mm-hmm. I want to flip back to the defensive side of things real quick and just tackle, no pun intended, James Bradberry for a second. What are we getting? Like, what version of James Bradberry are we getting? Are we getting the guy that we saw last year that had his struggles? Or are we getting the guy that we saw 2 years ago that was more of a secondary role, if you will, with the Giants? What version of him do you think we're getting?
I think we're going to get the version a couple years ago. He's a big body, big frame, taller, rangy type player. Not the fastest guy, but he's physical and he can make plays on the ball. And judging from what I think this scheme is going to look like, he's going to be playing, a little bit more press, which is good, getting him up in the faces of the cornerbacks, getting him close to the receiver, and having the opportunity to make plays on the ball. So I'm not really concerned with Bradberry. I think he's going to do phenomenal. And I mean, let's face it, it's the Giants. I mean, who wants to play? Who wants to play up there, right? So if I was forced to play in New York, I probably would give up a couple passes to it to help me get out of there.
Perfect. That's brilliant. All right. Last thing on Jalen Hurts now. Because what everyone remembers, the last time we saw him, we saw Todd Bowles on the sideline saying this guy can't read the defense. Like, basically, this guy can't read the defense. Now, Todd Bowles is a pretty good defensive mind. I'll go ahead and give him credit for that. So it's not exactly a huge brag that he could shut down a first ever playoff experience quarterback. However, if you're playing against Jalen Hurts, or rather, if you know you're going up against Jalen Hurts, what are you looking to exploit? If Quintin Mikell is still playing safety in the NFL and you're in those defensive meetings and you guys are talking about stopping Jalen Hurts, what are you doing in those meetings? What are you talking about?
So for me personally, I'm gonna study his. First, I'm gonna study the formations, like what tendencies do they run out of certain formations and personnel, and then I'm gonna study how he throws it. What plays can damage me as a player mostly, right? How does he throw his deep ball? When he throws the deep ball, where is he looking? Is he looking only to his right? Is he looking to his left? Is he coming off his first read right now? So I think the two biggest things I'm going to study, like I said, are the personnels. Who's he looking to throw? When he gets in trouble, who's he trying to find? Is he trying to just pull the ball and run? Does he make good checks at the line? Like for instance, the Buccaneers game. Now, like you said, Todd Bowles was coming from everywhere. And the other key to that was we didn't have a solid guy that he could just get the ball out to that would make a play. Our receiving core was not up to par last year. So that kind of adds to that issue. This year is going to be a little different. You're blitzing out. If you're bringing all those people, he's going to find AJ. He's going to find Devontae because you got to go one-on-one outside. So that's going to, take that part away very quickly. So I think he needs to work on his accuracy on the deep ball. He needs to work on, studying the game and understanding the blitz schemes that he's going to see, and just know that it's different than college in the sense of every week they're going to study. They're right now studying him from 2 years ago. They're studying him from this year. So he's got to understand that they know everything you're going to do. You've got to be able to counter that and overcome it.
Well, like I said, when it comes to work ethic, I think that guy is willing to put that in the offseason. I think that's just the way his mindset is. Quintin Mikell, where can we catch you next with Q&A, you and your old teammate there and your current friend, Jason Devon? Yeah,
man. Wednesday mornings, the show drops on Inside the Birds podcast. Q&A. Right now we're doing like a 5-week spot. I think tomorrow's episode will drop and it'll be the third installment of our 5-part series. And we're going to rock that for the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to hit a little vacation and come back hard for the training camp and the regular season, man. So I'm excited.
Now, I don't know if you've heard this, but there's been a lot of craze about you guys just doing a Q&A show while you are jumping on trampolines at Launch Trampoline Park. Is there any truth to that rumor?
Hey, listen, as long as you got the ambulance and the training staff nearby, I'm all in because these knees are struggling a little bit. But no, I would love to do that. Hopefully we get a chance to do that because I've been wanting to dunk on him on the trampoline for a while. So.
You go flying with the birds. Flying with the birds. That's what we can do. We already got a title, working title. Quintin Mikell, always great catching up with you, man. You look like $1 million as per usual, my friend. Make sure you guys check out Q&A podcast as part of course of the Inside the Birds podcast. Quintin, thanks so much, brother.
All right, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, the great Quintin Mikell joining us on the Rothman Orthopedics guest. That was an incredible open by me. Really passionate, hit all the points, all that stuff. Anyway, let me tell you about the great people that present the Farzy Show at Destination Retirement, destinationretirement.com. My man, Mike Seibert. Mike Seibert is a retirement income certified professional at Destination Retirement, LLC, and a partner of 1847 Financial, and he's an advisor for Eagles, Sixers, and Phillies fans only. Maybe next year he'll be a Flyers fan as well. When it comes to long-term savings, why are you giving up the current enjoyment of your income? When it comes to long-term savings, you need to make sure that you have income streams in retirement. It only makes sense then to understand how retirement income streams work so that you can direct savings in ways that give you the highest quality income when you retire. Think of it like climbing a mountain. Is the objective just to climb a mountain and then get to the top of the mountain, or is the objective get to the top and then safely back down the mountain? Going up the mountain is your accumulation phase. Going back down the mountain is your distribution phase. Oh, that's what you got to do, ladies and gentlemen. These are the two different phases of your financial life. Each should be addressed separately. This month, let's talk about college planning. We all know that college is expensive. And have you ever thought about this? How it'll affect your retirement stream? Well, let Mike show you an efficient way to help pay for your kids' college education and still retire on your own terms. Your first step is to avoid starting your growth cycle over again by depleting accounts like 529s. You don't want to lose your position in your growth cycle and have to start over because you can't get that time back. Instead, set yourself up with the ability to use vehicles that you can take money out of without starting your retirement growth cycle over again. Find out how your annual retirement savings can help your college savings and how your annual college savings can help your retirement savings. Michael, set up your own portal and retirement analyzer. Then, you know what he'll do? He'll use the software to help you navigate through your different phases of your financial life. For questions or to set up a meeting with Mike, you can email him at gobirds@1847financial.com. That's gobirds@1847financial.com, or give him a call at 484-275-6035. That's 484-275-6035, or you can visit his website at destinationretirement.com. And as always, go Birds. How about my man Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut, right there on Jewelers Row. Folks, for over 40 years, Philadelphia has been trusting the man that is in the love business, Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. Right there at the other corner of 8th and Walnut, or online at IHateStevenSinger.com. Steven's going to make you feel like family when you walk into that place. You know how he's going to do that? Well, first off, kindness, courtesy, feeling special because someone's paying you direct attention. And he's also going to give you the perfect price. Now, what's the perfect price? You walk into another jeweler, they mark things way up just to mark it down. A couple of $100, make you feel like you won something. At Steven Singer, everything's already marked down so that you're getting everything at the perfect price. You don't have to worry about haggling or negotiating, whether or not the person next to you is getting a better deal. Everybody's getting the same deal because everybody's getting that perfect price at Steven Singer Jewelers. Steven Singer Jewelers, one place, one price, the perfect price every single day. Online at IHateStevenSinger.com.